Curiosity is, in my mind, one of the most important aspects of, well, I mean, life in general, but also being good at doing quality assurance. And I mean, it can probably improve almost every other profession, role, uh, job, whatever. And so, in my mind, the way curiosity manifests for myself in the role of a QA is helping with asking questions, exploring a product to better understand it, um, thinking about how people might use a product. So there's the curiosity of my own exploration and then the curiosity of how other people might explore the same thing, and or what they might think of like the action of something. If I click into something and a menu pops up or the screen changes or some other element in the UI uh, moves, then like all of those actions are going to be interpreted differently. They're going to be either some scale of or some spectrum of like pleasant or unpleasant. It's going to be a spectrum of like intuitive or unintuitive. So for curiosity, it is interesting because of the fact that it allows for that ever present explorative questioning, wanting to know more, that doesn't feel, or that it never seems to stop, at least for me. So in my roles, that curiosity has benefited me to ask questions that other people may have had that just never asked because of other previous experiences they had where asking those types of questions caused more pain. Um, and I'm not saying my curiosity hasn't also caused some pains, but I think that it's always worth doing, because those pains are typically misguided in terms of where they're coming from. There isn't that extra level of humanization and understanding that's defaulted to the person. And so it's, yeah, it's in my mind one of the most important aspects of life is having a curious mind, or just being curious about things, wanting to understand them. Now there's instances where you go from that exploration phase where you're letting that curiosity sort of drive you around. Um, but then you, at some point, you need to then shift into, all right, I have enough information. Now I can start the like implementation phase where it's much more about like rigid process of like, I know what to do. I need to do this. So being able to find those moments where you switch between the curious mind and then the focused, rigid, um, uh, executing on those things that you've learned is that like balance that needs to be played where you shift between them depending on the project and your role within that project. But always being curious, always wanting to understand and explore and figure things out is super important in my mind to I mean, I haven't had every role, obviously. Um, but I think that it can I'm I don't know, 90% sure that in every role a curious mind will be overall beneficial than harmful.